Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to solve some numericals from electric charges and electric field. So come, let's realize physics. Okay, so let us find out the first question of electric charge and field. So the question is given in your screen. Just you can note it down in your copy also, and you can also check that from your screen only. Okay, so come, let us find out. The first question says two point charges capital Q and small q are placed at a distance x and x by 2 respectively from a third charge of value 4q, all the charges being in the same straight line. So what it says, we are going to note it down in our copy first. There are question about capital Q and small q, right? They are placed at a distance x and x by 2 respectively from a third charge. So from a third charge, which is third charge, that is said 4q. This is our third charge. So how we are going to place in the same straight line? So we are first going to place, this is 4q. Now from 4q, which is x distance away, q, this capital Q is x distance away. So if capital Q is x distance away, then if this is capital Q, okay, let me write it in a bigger way. If this is capital Q, then this is x distance away. Very good. Okay, now small q is x by 2 distance away. So small q must be here. So this must be x by 2 distance away from a third charge. Now the question says, what will be the magnitude and nature of charge capital Q such that the net force experienced by charge this small q is 0. Now here you have to think. Just think in this way. If this is okay, this one is positive charge. So this positive charge is going to give electrostatic force of repulsion in this side, electrostatic force of repulsion in this side, and this one is also positive charge. This one is also going to give electrostatic repulsion in this side. See, if the question is given, what is the nature of charge capital Q? If this is positive, then only this can give a force in this side. So there is a possibility that the net charge on the net force on this charge can be 0, right? If this had been negative, what would have been the scenario? This is the force due to 4q charge, this is the force due to 4q charge, and if it had been negative, the force would experience like this. But if you consider it positive, then the force must be in this direction. Then only there is a possibility of experiencing an equal and opposite force from both sides. Therefore neglecting net force can be 0. So this is the possibility. So that means it is clear for us that this plus q should be this q should be plus, that is positive in nature. Are you getting? Okay, next we are going to find out what is the magnitude for this charge. What is the magnitude? So from here it is clear to everyone that Fq, that is the force due to this charge, should be equal to F4Q, the force due to this one. This is clear to everyone. So what is this force? Electrostatic force of attraction, so, or repulsion, whatever. Electrostatic force. So from Coulomb's law, we know 1 by 4 pi epsilon is equals to Q into small q. Now we are going to find out the force due to this one. How much force this plus q is applying on this small q? We need to find out. So this is Fq. Fq is force on q due to plus q. So for this we have to use this Coulomb's law, magnitude of plus q into small q divided by how much this distance should be? This distance should be x by 2. If total distance is x and this distance is x by 2, this has to be x by 2. So this has to be x by 2 distance. Clear? So here we are going to say x by 2 distance square. In for this one we are going to use 1 by 4 pi epsilon. Now what is F4Q? F4Q is force on Q due to 4Q. So for this we have to find out the magnitude of we have to find out the force. For this we are going to write 4Q into Q by x by 2. Now this is clear to everyone. So from here we are going to find what is the magnitude of this positive Q. Okay, so what is the magnitude? So magnitude comes to be like this. This cancels, and this one cancels, and this cancels. So we are going to get capital Q is equals to 4Q. So we got this, capital Q is equals to 4Q. So this one was, I think, very easy. This one was a very basic and very easier part. So just note it down. Okay, so now we are going to our next question. So find out what it is saying. It is saying how many electrons should be removed from a coin of mass 1.6 gram so that it may just float in an electric field intensity 10 to the power 9 Newton per Coulomb directed upwards. Okay, this is a very interesting question, and this is very easy also. There is a you need to find out the concept behind it. So let us just find out. So this is the coin. So what is the mass of this coin? Mass of this coin is 1.6 gram. Okay. Now electric field is directed upward. How much electric field intensity is given? Electric field intensity is given as 10 to the power 9 Newton per Coulomb, directed upward. So how many electrons should be removed such that this mass 1.6 gram, this coin, mass of this coin 1.6 gram can remain float in this electric field? So why this will float? First we have to get this in your mind. See, if there is electric field, so let us understand the basic thing. First, let us understand the basic thing. If this has mass 1.6 gram, then it must attract downwards, it must move downward due to gravity. So this is mg, and to remain floating, some amount of force must be given in the upward direction. What amount of force that should be given? That is electrostatic force. So when mg becomes equal to electrostatic force, then only this coil will remain floating in this air, right? So when Fe will be equals to mg, so we got this when Fe is equals to mg. Now how this Fe we are going to get? See, if I take 2 electrons away, if I remove 2 electrons away from this coin, then this coin will be gaining 2 positive charge. If I take 3 electrons away from this coin will be gaining 3 positive charge. So how many number of electrons I must remove so that this might get a positive charge? So if this gets a positive charge and electric field is directed upward, that means this is going to experience a electrostatic force in upward direction. This is going to experience electrostatic force in upward direction. If this had been negative charge present over here, the electrostatic force of attraction will be in this direction due to the electric field. Are you understanding? Electric field, there is electric field, that means just imagine there is a large amount of charge beneath there. So that is why the electric field is directed over this part. So if it has positive charge, then electrostatic force will be in upward direction. If it has negative, if it would have negative charge, then what would have happened? This coin would have been attracted in downward direction. So this is clear to everyone. So let us consider I have taken out n electrons. So I consider I have taken out n electrons. If I have taken out n electrons, then how much charge it has gained? It has gained Ne positive charge it has gained. I have taken out n electrons. That means this has gained n electrons. Okay, electrons. So that is, it would have gained plus any electrons, any charge. So this part is clear to everyone. So we know if a charge Q is placed in an electric field E, then the force experienced by the charge will be Q into E, right? If you have any problem in the electric field chapter or the electric field part in this electrostatic part, then you can please go to the link provided here and check the other videos I have posted on electric field. So come, now we are going to solve this. So if I solve this, what I am going to get? This is mass into m. This is mass into g. This is mg means acceleration due to gravity. So now in place of Fe, we are going to write ne, that is number of electrons, that is it has gained positive charge, into electric field. Electric field E is equals to mg. One mass is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 3 kg. We are taking it in SI unit, okay? Kg into G is 9.8. So now N into 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 coulomb, that is the magnitude of electric charge for an electron. So now electric field is given 10 to the power 9 and we are going to get 1.6 to the power minus 3 into 9.8. So what will be N will be, so we can cancel it like this, 1.6 1.6 and together this one will be, okay, let me write it here, 10 to the power minus 3 divided by, if we multiply both of this, we are going to get 10 to the power minus 10. So if this goes up, we are going to get 9.8 into 10 to the power 7. So this is the amount of electrons that you have to take out from this coin in order to get this, coin floating. So this part is clear to everyone? Okay. Now we are going to our next question. So let us find out. So let us see what is our next question is giving. What is our next question? So the next question says, two insulated copper spheres A and B having charge 6.5 into 10 to the power minus 7 coulomb. A third charge of sphere of same size, is brought in contact with the first sphere, then brought in contact with the second and finally removed from both. Then what is the force of repulsion between A and B if they are separated by 50 centimeter? So come, let us find out. This is saying this is a story of two charges, two spheres. This is sphere A and this is sphere B. How much amount of charge they are having? The charge they are having is 6.5 into 10 to the power minus 7 coulomb. So now a third sphere, which is, we are naming it as C, this has been brought, this is uncharged, this has been brought and this has been given and touched at A. Now when it is touched at A, what will be the condition? If A previously had Q charge and if this had no charge, what will happen? This charge, there will be a flow of charge from A to C until and unless they two become equal. See, this is very easy to understand. If you connect two bottle, one is filled and another is empty, then what will happen? The field will be lowering the amount of water and this empty will getting some amount of water till both of them have the same amount of water in them. So this is the same way there will be a sharing of charge between A and C. So when there will be a sharing of charge between A and C, then A will be having after C has touched, A will be having Q by 2 and this C will be having also Q by 2 charge. This is clear? Okay. Now B was having Q charge. Previously. Now after this C has been touched with A, it has gained Q by 2 charge. Now it is again touched with B. Then how much amount of charge will get transferred between the two? So the total charge between B and C now become Q plus Q by 2. So this becomes 3Q by 2. Now this amount of charge will be distributed equally between the two, because same sphere it is said. It is said over here, this C, A, B, all of they are same size, same sphere. This was uncharged. So ultimately, the amount of the together, when C having Q by 2 charge, when it has charged with B, together their total charge become this. Now this amount of charge will be divided equally between B and C. If this amount of charge is divided equally between B and C, then amount of charge gained by B will be 3Q by 4. This 3Q by 2 divided by 2, this becomes 3Q by 4. So this part is clear to everyone. Just understand this part. Now it becomes very easy to calculate. This is the main concept for this question, that when two bodies are getting touched or they are kept in contact, then what happens? There is a redistribution of charge between the two. So what is the distributed charge after the redistribution is processed? A is having Q by 2 charge and B is having 3Q by 4 charge. Why? Because C is first touched with A, then it has been touched with B. So this part is clear to everyone. So if this is clear to everyone, now it is very easy for you to find out the force of attraction or repulsion between the two. Okay, now this Q and this Q both are positive charge. So what is the force of attraction or repulsion? You say it will be repulsion, right? So F will be is equals to 1 by 4 pi epsilon Q by 2 into 3Q by 4 divided by, what is the distance between them? It is said 50 centimeter, right? 50 centimeter, that means 0.50 meter. Always take in SI unit. When you are taking this one also in SI unit. So this becomes 0.50 meter, that's square. Okay, this part is clear. Now you have to calculate this part. Now if you calculate, what are you going to get? 1 by 4 by 4 is 9 into 10 to the power 9 into 4 into 2, this will come here 8, and this also 3, this 3 will be coming, and 8 is, and Q is 6.5 into 10 to the power minus 7, 6.5 into 10 to the power minus 7, that's square, divided by 0.50 square. Okay, this is what you are getting. Just solve. If you solve this, you are going to get the answer. Just solve it and find out what the answer is. Okay. So did you solve this one? How much is coming? Tell me. I know how much you have solved. So this is coming, I have already done it for you. This is coming 5.7 into 10 to the power minus 3. This is coming 5.7 into 10 to the power minus 3 Newton. Clear? Clear everyone? So let us find out what's the next question. So our next question, see what it is written. It is written there that 4 point charges Q A is equals to 2 microcoulomb, Q B is equals to minus 5 microcoulomb, Q C is equals to 2 microcoulomb, and Q D are located at the corners of a square ABCD of side 10 centimeter. What is the force on charge 1 microcoulomb placed at the center of the square? So now this is very easy. I'm just going to help you. You are doing it on your own. You will be doing this on your own. This is very easy. See, this is a square. Just pardon me for not drawing a perfect square. So this is a square. Now let us go ABCD. So if this is A, B, C, D. Not in A, B, C, D. No, not like that. You have to use the cyclic order. If you are using A, B, C, D like this or A, B, C, D like this, whatever. So QA contains 2 microcoulomb. QB contains minus 5 microcoulomb. And QC contains 2 microcoulomb and QD contains minus 5 microcoulomb. Now, what will be the force on the charge of 1 microcoulomb placed at the center of this sphere? Now, this square of side is 10 centimeter. So square of side is 10 centimeter. So if this is 10 centimeter, then what will be the distance between from this to here distance? So from any point to the center, what will be the distance? For a square of 10 centimeter, what will be the diagonal? The diagonal comes to be root 2a. Diagonal comes to be root 2a. Root 2a means this distance. So this will be root 2 10, right? And this part will be, this is the midpoint. So this part will be 5 root 2. So this part will be 5 root 2. From this one will be also 5 root 2, this one is also 5 root 2, this one will be also 5 root 2. So this is clear. So distance of center from any corner is 5 root 2. We have find out this one. This is clear. I am rubbing this part because there is a reason. Now if I place a charge of 1 microcoulomb, what will be the scenario? 1 microcoulomb, what will be the scenario? See, if you place a charge of 1 microcoulomb, then this is a positive charge. Then A will give charge, will give force in this side. A will give force in this side. This is due to force due to A. And C is also positive charge. This is force due to C. Okay. B is negative charge. This will be attracting. So this is force due to B. And this is also negative charge. This is force due to D. Okay. So from here, you say what will be the scenario? Now we are going to use vector. We are going to use our vector knowledge here. That's why I told you in class 11, vector and calculus are the most important part. You have to learn it very carefully because this is very essential and this is the foundation for physics, of not only physics, of any science, physics, chemistry. Okay, now if A, B, C and D, the forces we have got. Now what will be the scenario? See, if D and if B, they are equal and opposite. Why they are equal and opposite? Because the amount of charge in D, the magnitude of charge in D is same as the magnitude of charge in C, right? Is same as the magnitude of charge in C. So FD and FB will cancel out. Since FD and FB are opposite directed and have same magnitude of force, so these two will cancel out. So no need to think about these two. Why these two will cancel out? Because see, B is negative charge, so this will attract over this side, and D is also negative charge, this will attract over this side, and the magnitude of D is 5 microcoulomb, magnitude of B is also minus 5 microcoulomb. These two are minus 5 microcoulomb and they are both same distance away. This 1 microcoulomb charge is same distance away from both the charges. So the force they are going to experience of same magnitude. So we have cancelled. Now we have to find out what will be FC and FA. Now FC and FA, just see, this is 2 microcoulomb, this is 2 microcoulomb. Here also FA and FC will be same. Why? If you find out, let me elaborate. This is also the same case. If FA will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, this will be 2 microcoulomb into 1 microcoulomb divided by 5 root 2 square. Similarly, FB is also 1 by 4 pi, FC. Similarly, FC will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into 2 microcoulomb into 1 microcoulomb divided by 5 root 2 square. Now the magnitude of both these, is same, and as they are oppositely directed, then also these two forces will cancel each other. So ultimately, what will be the force of on 1 microcoulomb in the midpoint of this square? 0. This is the answer. Clear? Note it down. Note it down in your copy. So let us find out the next question. So what is the next question? It tells that a particle of mass m and charge q, that is minus q, enters the region between the two charges plate, initially moving along x-axis with the speed vx as shown in the figure. So from the figure, let me just draw this one, then you will be able to understand. So here it shows a charged plate like this. So this is positively charged, this plate is positively charged, and this one is negatively charged. Now a particle of mass m, so a particle enters in vx direction. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. So length of this plate is given as L, right? Uniform electric field is maintained in the plate. Okay, uniform electric field is maintained. Okay, so a particle of mass m, a charge is here, it is given as minus q, enters the region between the two charge plate, initially moving along x axis with the speed vx as shown in the figure. The length of the plate is L and a uniform electric field is maintained between the plates. Show that the vertical deflection of the plate at the far edge of the plate will be QEL square by 2m Vx square. Okay. Deflection. Obviously, this is going to deflect. This was going to deflect like this. Why this one is going to deflect? Okay, let us understand this. This is important numerical, easy numerical, but there is a very big concept hiding in this question. So let us find out. Come. So first we are going to understand that when this charge is moving in this region, an electric field exists in this direction. As a result, this electric field is there in overall this plate region, right? So when this is getting inside, when this charge is getting inside, this charge will be applied with some electrostatic force. What is the electrostatic force? It will be applied, the force applied will be F is equals to QE. This is the force. This is the charge, magnitude minus Q into E. Electric field is there inside this plate. Electric field is there inside the plate. It is said, right? Yes, E is there inside the plate. So this is the force this will going to experience. Now this force is directed in this side. So the force is directed in this side. The force is directed in this side. Why? Because this is negative charge. This is negative charge, and as it is entering inside this plate, it is going to experience a force in this side, because this is going to attract towards this positive plate. This part is clear. Now, as a result, there is a force. There will also be an acceleration in this direction, that is towards y-axis. So we have to find it out. So let us find out first. So first we are going to understand Vx, the time for which the charge remain inside the plate. Within that time when only, within that time only, the charged particle will experience this force, right? Within that time only, this charged particle will experience this force. So let us find out the time. So time will be distance by Vx. Total distance is L, and Vx is the velocity along x component is Vx. So time equals to distance by speed. So this is the time we have got. This is the time we have got. Okay. Now, what will be the acceleration along y-axis? Acceleration along y-axis will be force divided by m. So force will be QE by m. So this becomes the acceleration along y. This becomes acceleration along y, and this becomes the time along y. Okay. So what is the deflection? So how much it will deflect over here? We have to find out how much distance it has moved from here. That is a displacement along the y-axis. So displacement along the y-axis will be, you know the formula, right? S equals to ut plus half at square, right? So the sy means the deflection along x in y-axis will be uy t plus half ay t square. Now what is uy? Initial velocity along y direction. What was the initial velocity along y direction? 0. Is there any initial velocity along y direction? No. The moment it had entered, then only it experienced a force equals to QE. As a result, it started accelerating towards y direction due to this electric field. So uy was 0. So this part is of no use. So sy becomes half a t square. So what is a? A is equals to QE by m, and t is equals to L by Vx, that is L by Vx square. So ultimately we get S equals to QE L square by 2m Vx square. So I hope this was what the deflection was all about. So this is the deflection we have got. Clear? Note it down in your copy. I think this is clear to everyone. If you have any problem, please write in the comment section. Okay. Okay. So our next question comes to the screen. It's saying that 4 equal point charges, each 16 microcoulomb, are placed on the 4 corners of a square of side 0.2 meter. Calculate the force on any of the one of the following charge. This is very easy. I am just showing you the concept how to do this, and you are going to find out the answer and write it in the comment section. This you have to do. Okay. So I have belief in my students that they are definitely going to do this and write in the comment section. Okay. I will be waiting for the answers. So just check it out. So it says 4 charges of 16 microcoulomb are placed at the corners of a square of side 0.2 meter. So if you want to find out this, let us find out on any one. So let us find out on this one. Okay, this one. Why I am using this one? Because I have space over here to find it out. You can choose any one and you can find out. See, first we need to understand this. Let us define this as A, B and C. So A will be applying force in this direction, C will be applying force in this direction, and B will be applying force on this direction. Now you have to take the distance, you have to understand the distance. This will be the force due to this one, electrostatic force of these two charges magnitude, as well as the distance between them is 0.2 meter. Here is also 0.2 meter. So what will be this direction? This will be root 2 into 0.2 root 2 distance. Okay. Now what is the net force acting on this? So you have to use the vector theory or the vector theory that you all know. What you have to use? See, due to this FA and FC, there will be a resultant force due to FA and FC. If this is FC and this is FA, So I can say there will be a resultant force F dash. So there will be another force that will be F dash. So F dash is there as well as FB is there. So total force will be FB plus F dash. FB plus F dash. Now FB and F dash in the same direction. So here it will be very easy to find out because both of them are same direction, and F dash is equals to FA plus FC. I hope you can do this using the vector theorem. Angle between FC and FA is 90 degree. You all know this, and I want you to do this numerical and write the answer in comment section. If you have any problem, you can always write. I will help you out with this. Okay. So the next question says that 5 point charges, each of value plus q coulomb, are placed on the 5 vertices of regular hexagon of L meters. Find the magnitude of force on the charges minus q coulomb placed at the center of the hexagon. Okay, this is also homework for you all. This is the same way I explained you the question that was having the charges at the 4 corners of the square. What will be the force on the midpoint of the square? So similarly, this is a hexagon. You are going to do it on yourself. If you have any problem, just let me know. I will explain you through. And I want you to do this numerical and write the answer in my comment section. Okay, I know you will do it. You all are very good and intelligent students, so please do it. And if you have any problem, you can always share it with me. Okay, come. So this will be a homework for you all. So come, let us find out the next question. The next question says a spherical conducting shell of inner radius R1 and outer radius R2 has charge Q. A charge small q is placed at the center of the shell. Then find out the surface charge densities of the inner surface and outer surface of the shell. Okay, this is also a very easy sum. So let's see how to do this. A spherical conducting shell. So if you don't know what is spherical conducting shell, so let me just explain you. This is a spherical conducting shell. See, this is hollow and some thickness. Shell means it's a spherical shape. Okay. So as it says, it has two radius. The inner radius is R1 and outer radius is R2. And R2 has charge plus Q. So a charge plus Q is there in overall in the outer surface of the shell. Now in the question it says a small plus Q charge is placed at the center. Then find out the surface charge densities of the inner surface and outer surface of the shell. So surface charge densities of the inner surface and outer surface of the shell. So if a Q is placed over here, what will be the condition now? From electrostatic induction, if you remember electrostatic induction, as this here is plus Q, negative charges will be appearing at this surface. Now what will be this total negative charge? Total negative charge will be minus Q. So in inner surface, total negative charge is minus Q. If here it becomes minus Q, then what will happen to the shell also? Suddenly if this here, if there minus charge if here minus Q appears, then what will happen? A positive Q has to appear over in this part. So in this part, positive Q should appear. We already know electrostatic induction, right? And also from conservation of charge, suddenly if minus Q appear over here, then this here plus Q also appears, should also be appear over there. The whole system should remain same number of charge. So outer surface, so charge on outer surface become Q plus Q. Now this is very easy. This part is very easy for everyone to understand now. How this has become Q plus Q and this was only minus Q. So surface charge density for inner sphere. So let sigma 1 be surface charge density of inner surface and sigma 2 surface charge density of outer surface. Therefore sigma 1 becomes minus Q by 4 pi r1 square. Total charge in the inner surface, total charge in the inner surface by total area. That is the surface charge density. I have explained to you, right, what is surface charge density, what is linear charge density, what is volume charge density in the Gaussian, in the Gauss law. I have explained to you from the application of Gauss law. If you have any problem, you can go to that video. I have already given the link over here. And sigma 2 will be Q plus Q by 4 pi r2 square. So this is clear to everyone. This part is very clear. This was easy, but the concept you have to use about electrostatic induction. Okay, note it down. So in our next question we find, just read it from the screen. It says an electron is revolving around a line charge having charge density 2 × 10 to the power minus 8 coulomb per meter. Find the kinetic energy of the electron revolving around an orbit. Okay, this is you can say a good question. This is a good question. So let us find out what it is. This is, I can say, line charge. Line charge means a linear charge distribution. Okay, a linear charge distribution, and an electron is revolving around it in an orbit. So that must have some radius orbit. So this is you can see a linear distribution, or I can say lengthwise. This is a rubber band actually, whatever. You can see this is a length L. Just consider this to be a conducting length which can have some charge. If there is charge and electrons are revolving around it, so this is the scenario. This is the scenario, and the electrons revolving in an orbit should have some radius. They should have some radius. So if this is the radius, just understand that if this is electron, that means what? The electron should be attracted towards this side. So electron is attracted towards this side, an attractive force, and as it is revolving in the orbit, this also have some centrifugal force. This is centrifugal force and this is electrostatic force. Now because these two forces are equating each other, that's why this electron can revolve. Otherwise the electron, if Fc, the centrifugal force, would have been greater, the electron would have gone out from this orbit, and if this Fe would have been greater, the electron would have been collapsed over here. So this is the condition. So now you have to understand what is Fe. Now Fe will be electric field due to this charge distribution multiplied with this electron, multiplied this with this electronic charge. Okay, and Fc is mv square by r. So this is clear to everyone. Mv square by r. What is m? M is the mass of electron. And v is the velocity with which electron revolves. This is clear. So Fe should become Fc. Then only we are going to understand that the electron can revolve in the orbit, right? So Fe will be electric field due to linear charge distribution, so lambda by 2 pi epsilon naught r. This This formula we have got from application of Gauss law. If you remember, I have given a video over this. If you have gone through that video, you are going to understand that electric field due to this linear charge distribution will be 2 pi epsilon into R, electric field. So this I have find out into electronic charge. Okay, this equals to mv square by R, mv square by R. Clear? This part is clear to everyone? Now see, this R and R gets cancelled. So mv square we get lambda E by 2 pi epsilon naught. Then what will be the kinetic energy? Then what will be the kinetic energy of the electron? Kinetic energy is equals to half mv square. So half mv square. So what is the value of mv square? This one. So this becomes lambda E by 2 pi epsilon naught. So if we calculate this one, if we use the value of pi, if we use the value of pi epsilon, or this comes to be 4 pi epsilon, right? 1 by 4 pi epsilon. We know the value of 1 by 4 pi epsilon is equals to 9 into 10 to the power 9. So 1 by 4 pi epsilon, this becomes lambda E by 4 pi epsilon. If you put these values, you are going to get the answer. So what should be the kinetic energy? Kinetic energy should be 9 into 10 to the power 9 into lambda is given as 2 into 10 to the power minus 8, 10 to the power minus 8 into electron is 1.6 into the power minus 19 coulomb. So if you are going to calculate this, you are going to get the answer. So what will be kinetic energy? So let me find it out. It is 2.8 into 10 to the power minus 2.8 10 to the power minus 70. 2.8 into 10 to the power minus 70. Joule. So this is clear to everyone? Just note down in your copy. If you have any problem, you can always write me in the comment section. Okay.